We left for the Cow Creek Trailhead at around 9 o'clock on Friday morning.
Jesus, what a pervert you are. Say hi to everybody.
However, I don't think we made it on trail till around 3 o'clock or so. It's a long drive up there. The last stretch of road is dirt and takes forever. We stopped for lunch in Enterprise, which was a good meal. I had a super light pack. My pack probably weighed a third of anyone else's, if not less.
Oh, did he sell all the property?
No, Chuck Jensen is all real estate.
What happened to this? Well, I mean, I figured the boys were. The boys were fuck up the boy.
Joe carried in a wall tent because he was worried about the weather. Patrick had a saw. They all brought some alcohol. Uh-oh. There's always one. It was me and 4 guys who had been high school friends with Scott. Pat, Charles, Eric, and Joe. They've all traveled the world together. They've known each other since they were in elementary school. They went to high school together. Some went to college together. They were in each other's weddings. I felt lucky to be included with them. In 2021, Pat and I had come in with another group of people, and he and I had put up a memorial that he made for Scott at a place that we call Fairley's Knob, where Scott had built a cairn and scattered some of the ashes of his dad, because his dad had brought him there when he was younger.
Thank you.
Joe making the world right for the rest of us. This same group had come in November of 2021 to see that memorial that Pat had put up in April. And that was a fun trip as well. It was nice to get back together with them. This was my 10th trip into this campsite, but it's the first time I'd ever been here in May, and the flowers were amazing. 5 of those trips had been with Scott. 5 since he died.
Are you putting water in your canister?
You know, it starts slow. It takes a while to kind of.
Oh, wow. Got a saw. I thought you were just gonna like step on it. I said, no way, that's not gonna work. I got my little saw station.
As is my wont, I sat around watching everyone else do all the work. I figured taking pictures and videos was my job. Carrying heavy things was theirs.
The other thing I like about the wine is it kind of takes the edge off. You better be careful, they might arrest you.
I would have got dirty.
Sir, can you tell me where your kid is? I don't have any kids, officer. Okay, you come with me if we want to.
One of the perks of being the guy taking videos is I can take their conversations out of context and make them all look bad. I'm a little drunk with that power, to be honest. So we had a good night that first night. It was clear, a little cold, but the temperatures were in the 40s, so it wasn't too bad. The weather turned out to be beautiful this morning.
probably on the parking bench here.
We had a leisurely morning with the idea that we were going to hit the trail about 9 o'clock to head up to Fairley's Knob. It's a walk, I don't know, about half a mile, maybe a little more along the Snake River before you hit, I think it's called Eureka Creek. And then you start heading up the creek. You have to cross the creek about 8 times at the lower section. It's about 1,500 feet elevation gain up this draw. A lot of times you're going through the undergrowth. I think Joe's not comfortable unless he's carrying a bag of stuff with him. And then you pop out on top into the rugged, sort of arid country. A lot of cows up there. And then you walk down along the shoulder of the canyon till you end up almost directly 1,000 feet above our campsite. The little marker that Pat had carved out of a block of wood sits on top of the cairn that Scott had originally built for his dad. And it's gotten pretty worn over the last 4.5 years it's been up there. Pretty weathered, I should say. So Pat had brought along some linseed oil and a paintbrush to do a little maintenance work on it.
Go to work.
The rest of us sat around having inane conversations and remembering Scott.
I think the dried mangoes are the perfect hiking snack.
Yeah, it's way better than my granola bar.
Yeah.
Did you prepare those or you buy them that way?
I bought him.
I can't believe people would bail off and go straight down there.
Patrick said a few words, and we just appreciated the time we had together here.
Yeah, spend with the here and now. So, here's to friendship beyond space and time.
Something, I don't know. Jet or something, yeah. There's our jet boaters. Wasn't there a minute ago?
We work for the Forest Service or something like that. No, but
In this area.
yeah, they're not.
Right.
Read this new book.
Mm-hmm.
Someone's live.
Oh, yeah, he
Or my
was a-
uncle, whatever, over and whatever, would say something like this. He believes this.
And he was a pretty prolific.
You can see our tents down there below if you look real close.
Don't know. It was kind of first country.
Yeah,
That's what I would say too.
Marine's younger brother,
Yeah.
he does fishing expeditions up the Snake.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, but you know, like how stuff gets divided up.
Since these guys have known each other since they were in elementary school, sometimes you see their inner juvenile coming out. It's probably why I get along with them. Freaking hoodlums. Dropping back down into the foliage.
That's it, they're around the bend.
They're around the bend now.
I did think I was going to get injured and I'd have to explain to my wife. I wasn't so much the injury.
Woohoo! There's always one. For some reason, in the time we were up at the top, the cottonwood started flying. Maybe it was the heat of the day. As you can see, the weather held out for us pretty well on this entire hike. This was a Native American round hut, I think is what they call it. As we headed back into camp, Pat and I decided we were going to jump in the river, get cleaned up a little bit. I think Charles did too, but he wasn't in the river when I was down there. Joe came down to be the lifeguard. See, the wind started to kick up here, and eventually the weather did in fact turn on us.
Maybe 3 more hours until we can. He's going to sleep at 7. I actually took a couple good pictures this morning.
It actually rained pretty hard for a few hours. Then it slowed down a little bit about at bedtime. It was actually a great night's sleep. I woke up a little early, but I lay there in bed with my eyes closed till I heard people moving around outside. Luckily, the wind had picked up, dried most of our gear out. Sparrows came by to keep us company in the morning, too.
fire this morning.
Started packing up our gear, getting ready to head out.
I've heard that songs. I'm not some boring guy that just sings them as they hear them. Yeah, I'm creative.
Interpretation.
Once again, the weather cooperated, and it was pretty nice for the walk out. I've got to say, this slot canyon at the mouth of the Imnaha is as pretty as any place I've ever visited. It's rugged, it's striking. We didn't see that much wildlife here on this particular trip, but we've seen bighorn sheep here, elk, deer. There's not a more beautiful place. Eventually, we made it back to the cars. Of course, my battery died. We went down to Imnaha, where we stopped at the tavern and had some food, and drove back to Pendleton. That's right, that's right. That's our most sophisticated member of the party.
Way, and you go past like where Gary Hansen to the back of the airport, and you go down
Yeah.
Cold Springs that way. You go
That's
past.
an interesting
Long
drive.
time. It took like 3 hours to build our snow caves. It was quite the deal.
Overall, it was a great trip.